What's up, taters? I told you I was going to be here today. I am just a little off on the time. I said 6 o'clock and I decided to do it at 5:30 because I have another stream on my other channel at 9 and I got to make sure I am well prepared for that one as well. So what's up, everybody? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Thank you for coming. I know I said I was going to be here at 6 o'clock, but isn't it good to be here early? Isn't it good to be here early than to be here really late? Or worse, not at all. You know what I'm saying? Isn't it just worse to be here not at all? So I have been out of it in reference to making videos. So I'm like, I definitely gonna have to do a show. So there's that. So I got a couple of shows today and we're gonna have a good old time. So we're gonna go for an hour unless I'm bribed to go a little longer. You know, I can be bribed, I can be bought. Okay. And we have some very interesting things that are near and dear to my heart here. So let's go ahead and get right into it because let's see, hold on a second. Let's get to this here. Okay, there we go. All right, so we're gonna talk about a couple of things. So let's talk about the big beautiful Golden Dome. The Golden Dome, big beautiful Golden Dome. So as you all know, Israel, the most based country in the Middle East, okay, surrounded by nothing but a Muslim, Islamic country, a place I could not survive in, but I could survive in Israel, okay? I love me some Israel, Zion forever, okay? They have the Iron Dome. And Trump, thanks to our close relationship with our #1 ally, got the, I don't know if it's the copyrights or trademarks or whatever, to do a version of the Golden Dome here in America. Now, do we need it? No. Do we want it? Yes. It doesn't hurt, chat. It doesn't hurt. Okay, it doesn't hurt. So let's go look at that real quick.
President Trump on Tuesday unveiled plans for a so-called Golden Dome. It's his twist on the Iron Dome, the informal name for Israel's missile defense system. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth characterized it as an important step for the U.S.
This right here, the Golden Dome for America, is game changer. It's a generational investment in the security of America and Americans. President Reagan 40 years ago cast the vision for it. The technology wasn't there. Now it is, and you're following through to say we will protect the homeland.
CBS News Pentagon reporter Eleanor Watson joins us now. Ellie, what did President Trump say about what this would cost and how long it would take?
President Trump in the Oval Office today said that the total cost for this project would be about $175 billion, and it could take just 3 years to complete. Now, that's on the low end of the estimates that experts have been offering on what such a system may take. The caveats here are that the $175 billion, including $25 billion, that is just a down payment to get the system started, which is included in the reconciliation bill that has not yet passed. None of that funding has been provided by Congress yet. President Trump is optimistic that Congress is supportive of the plan and he'll get that funding. And then the other caveat is that the program, the Defense Department still has to choose many of the contractors to build up this program. Now, the first step was taken today in the Oval Office where President Trump named Space Force General Michael Gutlein as the program manager for this. So he will see this building start, and when it ends, if it ends in 3 years, that will be quite a success story since this is such an expansive program that's going to integrate missile defense from the seabed all the way to space.
Ellie, you also have new reporting on the Navy disciplining several members of a SEAL team over alleged racist memes. What can you tell us?
How do we get from that to racist memes? That daggone CBS News.
Yeah, so CBS News has learned that an incident several years ago has surfaced where members of Navy SEAL Team 4 in a signal chat that included a fellow SEAL who was black shared racist memes that included a depiction of slavery. That the allegation was brought forward by the SEAL who commented on it, said that he was privy to racist memes. It was investigated. It prompted the commander of Navy Special Warfare Command to travel to both coasts and speak to SEALs about the incident, and the Navy is continuing to take accountability action.
Imagine being a black SEAL triggered by a meme and going, it's a white Navy SEAL shared some memes and it triggered me. You are a SEAL. You are supposed to be one of the most elite, tough military operations in the world. Although you are never better than the Marines. Boom, headshot. There, I said it. Although, wait a minute. Wait. I do believe the Marines can be part of the Navy SEALs, right? Hold on. Don't make me say Air Force Rangers. I mean, I'll go that far. But I'm just saying, like, yeah, I had to think about that because the Navy is the gay cousins of the Marines, so they can transfer and many have. Okay, thank you. I had to think about that. But imagine being part of the Navy SEAL crying about a damn meme. Woo, child. That's just absolutely crazy. All right, let's move on. So, I love this. Okay, so y'all know one of the things that frustrate me about Trump is his flip-floppiness. But this right here, I hate the EU. I absolutely, and I know what I'm saying when I say hate. I know some people say, I told you guys that I'm only going to use hate when I do hate something. I literally hate the EU. I hate them. Literally hate them. I don't know how long it's going to take them to fall, when it's going to take them to fall, but they need to fall already. I can't stand the European Union. Okay. And so President Trump is going to give them a spanking. Now, I am going to have a good delight if this is the case. But I'm not going to get too excited because y'all know how Trump is. Flippity, floppity, flippity. I'm going to get sanctions. I'm not going to do sanctions. I'm going to do the tariffs. I'm not going to do the tariffs. I'm going to like. So you don't know what he's going to do until he does it. Okay? So that's the thing that frustrates me about Trump. So let's read this, and I hope he means it. I hope he follows through with it. I say 50% tariffs on the European Union is not good enough. But remove Poland and no, don't remove Poland. I love you, Poles, but you need to get your butt spanked for literally backing up Nazi Ukraine. So remove Hungary. Hungary don't need to be there. Hungary is the most based country in the EU, and so we don't need Hungary in there. All right. All right, so let's read this. President Trump recommends 50% tariffs on all European Union countries while offering praise and advice to the UK. This morning, President Trump took to the Truth Social to make a recommendation regarding tariffs levied on the European Union. This would mark a significant increase from proposed tariffs, which include a 10% baseline tariff with 20% reciprocal tariffs that were set on April the 10th, but later delayed for all tariffs except China until July the 9th. President Trump also proposed a 200% tariffs on alcohol products, including wine and champagne. Ooh, 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 ooh. Uh-oh. You housewives, y'all in trouble. Okay, y'all can't get y'all French wine and champagne. President Trump stated that the European Union was formed for the primary purpose of taking advantage of the United States on trade, and has been very difficult to deal with. This is his Truth Social post. Let's read that. The European Union, which was formed for the primary purpose of taking advantage of the United States on trade, has been very difficult to deal with. There are powerful trade barriers, vet taxes, ridiculous corporate penalties, non-monetary trade barriers, monetary manipulations, unfair and unjustified lawsuits against American companies, and more have led to a trade deficit with the United States of more than $250 million a year, a number which is totally unacceptable. Our decisions with them are going nowhere. Therefore, I am recommending a straight 50% tariffs on the European Union starting on June the 1st, 2025. There is no tariffs if the product is built or manufactured in the United States. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Okay, the valued added tax is a barrier to the importation of U.S. goods in the EU and often ranges from 15 to 25%. The VAT is paid by the importer, so there is no cost inflicted on the U.S. companies. However, it significantly hampers the competitiveness of foreign goods in the EU marketplace. Now, Trump made another one. He made another Truth Social. Trump said, I refuse to come back to Twitter. I don't care how much Elon kissed my butt. Donald Trump says, our negotiated deal with the United Kingdom is working out very well for all. I strongly recommend to them, however, that in order to get their energy costs down, they stop with the costly and unsightly windmills and incentivize modernized drilling in the North Sea, where a large amount of oil lay waiting to be taken. Trump, don't tell him that. Damn. A century of drilling left with, what is this? Aberdeen as the hub. The old-fashioned tax system disincentivizes drilling rather than the opposite. UK's energy costs would go way down and fast. You know what the best thing about this, chat, is that the UK is so arrogant in their ignorance. They're not going to listen to Trump. They're not going to listen to Trump. And that's a good thing. Because, listen, I hate the UK too. Oh my God. I want them to fall. If they don't get, like, it look like the Muslims are taking over that place. I don't care, dude. I don't care. Oh, it's a video.
But with regard to this move on the EU, how bad was the conversation in Canada to lead to this?
Well, the conversation in Canada was fine. The problem is the lead up to that. The 90-day pause on the April 2nd tariffs was based on countries or trade blocs coming to us and negotiating in good faith. And I believe the president believes that the EU proposals have not been of the same quality that we've seen from our other important trading partners. I've said there are 18 important trade deals that we have to do. I'm working mostly on Asia, and that group has move forward with some very interesting proposals. They're negotiating in good faith. We've already inked a deal with the UK. I think there are a couple more coming in the near future. So I think this is in response just to the EU's pace.
Let me get back to that in a moment. I mentioned June 1st is 9 days away. Is there an opportunity for negotiations in these 9 days?
Well, I'm not going to negotiate on TV, but I would hope that this would light a fire under the EU, because, Bill, I've said before, EU has a collective action problem here. It's 27 countries, but they're being represented by the one group in Brussels. So some of the feedback that I've been getting is that the underlying countries don't even know what the EU is negotiating on their behalf.
Then why are they part of the EU then? Sound like a dictatorship to me.
Apple, there is more news too on that, okay? Here
Wait a minute.
we go. On Truth Social an hour ago, I've long informed Tim Cook of Apple that I expect their iPhones will be sold in the United States of America, will be manufactured and built in the U.S., not India or any place else. If that's not the case, a tariff of at least 25% must be paid by Apple to the United States. So we've got 2 tariff threats in about 10 minutes' time. I understand that Tim Cook was at the White House this week. Did that conversation not go well?
I wasn't in on that conversation. I also saw Tim this week. So, again, the president is trying to bring back precision manufacturing to the U.S. And, I think that one of our greatest vulnerabilities, are this external production, especially in semiconductors, and a large part of Apple's components are in semiconductors. So we would like to have Apple help us make the semiconductor supply chain more secure.
What I found interesting in Saudi Arabia last week was that the president called out Tim Cook for not being there. Now, you know that high technology companies, it takes time to move those production facilities.
Blah, blah, blah. They can move fast enough. They want to stay in India so they can still have those Indians work for slave wages.
What's realistic for Apple?
Again, I don't know from company to company, so we'll have to see. I do think that Apple started moving a big portion of their supply chain out of China during COVID, when China proved to be an unreliable partner.
Okay, so we'll see where that goes in waiting.
Okay, thank you. Judge temporary halts Trump block on foreign students at Harvard. You know what? I've never even seen this been done to Biden, Poopy Pants Joe Biden. Like, most of Biden's executive orders went through. It's like every time Trump does an executive order, these libtard demon rat judges put a block on it, and he always got to take it to SCOTUS. And it's a mixed bag up there in SCOTUS. So here it is. Okay, so let's read this really quick. A judge temporarily suspended Friday. That's today. The Trump administration's move to block Harvard from enrolling and hosting foreign students after the prestigious university sued, calling the action unconstitutional. On Thursday, Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem revoked Harvard's university's ability to enroll foreign nationals, throwing the future of thousands of students and the lucrative income stream they provide into doubt. But Harvard sued, and Massachusetts District Judge Allison Barrows ordered that the Trump administration is hereby enjoined from implementing the revocation of plaintiffs' SEVP, Student and Exchange Visitor Program certification. There will be an injunction hearing on May the 29th, a court filing showed. President Donald Trump is furious at Harvard, which has produced 162 Nobel Prize winners. So what? Y'all gave Obama one of those. It holds no value anymore for rejecting his demand that it submit to oversight and admission of hiring over his claims that it is a hotbed of anti-Semitism and woke liberal ideology. His administration has already threatened to put $9 billion of government funding to Harvard under review. Damn, they get that much money? Gone on to freeze a first trench. What's this? Trench. Oh God, here's a word, Chad. Help me with this word. What's the tranche? Tranche? Help me, help me. Help me say this word. Help me say this word. Help me, help me, help me. Help me, help me, help. It's a private school. They should fund themselves. You damn right. Oh, it's French. Oh, never mind. Okay, you don't have to help me say the word. I hate French. Why are we using French words in English? Okay. So $2.2 billion of grants and $60 million of official contracts, as well as targeting a Harvard Medical School researcher for deportation. Send them back. 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 Good for you, Trump. I hate Harvard too. All right. Suspect in the DC murder of Israeli diplomats has deep ties to socialist group Black Lives Matter. Now, we kind of figured this was going to be the case because this idiot is studying in African American history, or was African American studies or something African American. And I was like, oh God, it's one of these daggone clowns, right? What is this? With the full backing of the United States government, Israel has launched a new and even deadlier phase in the genocide. I'm gonna talk about this so-called genocide stuff, okay? Hold on. Is there anything to talk about with this guy? Oh, wait a minute. What is this? We reject any attempt to associate the PSL with the DC shooting. Elias Rodriguez is not a member of the PSL. He had a brief association with one branch of the PSL that ended in 2017. We know of no contact with him in over 7 years. We have nothing to do with this shooting and do not support it. And then it says, is this you? Coalition of Public Power, exterminate Zionists. Oh, damn. Yeah, that's you. This is fake. Oh, okay. I guess that it. Well, is it really fake? Is it though? Is it really fake? Is it? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think so. Let me tell y'all something in reference to this whole, oh, it's more stuff? I done went down a rabbit hole, chat. Elias Rodriguez, the Chicago far-left activist accused of shooting dead 2 Israelis outside the Capitol Jewish Museum, has a long history of support for BLM, Palestine, communists, and anti-white causes. Those groups have been trying to scrub his association with them by deleting articles and pages where he is mentioned. While being arrested after the killings of Rodriguez, shout free Palestine. He just sitting there just chilling. Okay, there you go for, what is this? Black Lives Matter? The wealth that Amazon has brought to Seattle has not been shared with its black residents, Rodriguez said. Amazon's whitening of Seattle is structurally racist and a direct danger to all workers who live in that city. So do we in Chicago and all across the country want a nation of cities dominated and occupied by massive corporations where only the rich and white can live, and the vast majority of us must live on edges of the city and society, living in a deeper poverty? I don't think so. Dude, are you serious? Look at this. This got soy written all over it. All over it. All right, hold on. Is this more? Dang. Andy got all the receipts. Hold on a second. Suspect Elias Rodriguez allegedly posted his manifesto on X shortly before the deadly shooting. Escalate for Gaza, bring the war home. Well, ain't no way I'm going to be able to read this because it's screenshots. Why did he get a chance to just? Did anybody get a chance to download the actual manifesto? You got screenshots of screenshots. Double murder suspect Elias Rodriguez previously fundraised on GoFundMe to attend an anti-Trump resistor conference aimed at helping politically mobilize illegal migrants, BLM activists, Muslims, and communists. Damn, I hate these people so bad. Look at this guy. Look at this soy butt. Ugh. How much did the fundraiser make? Some of the social media posts by far-left shooter suspect Elias Rodriguez. He went to Blue Sky complaining about X being a racist, misogynistic cesspool. His profile banner on it is a Palestinian gunman carrying out a 2024 terror attack on civilians in Tel Aviv. In another post from December 2024, he embraces the use of violence in a discussion with Matthew Golden about assassinations. So you know Twitter done got rid of it, right? Someone should shoot someone else. Violence is an acceptable part of reality. Agreed, violence does not have to happen, but it does. But if it does, then it should. We're all morally obligated to do whatever we're about to do next. So that's what I'm saying. These people are mentally unhinged. And you all need to, I do not let these people keep focusing on January 6th when I can point out to all of their people who have done mass shootings. Let's not forget a lot of the trans chick, she's a biological woman, who went into a school to kill little children. So it's like I can list a lot of crazy, dangerous assassins that are on the left, and they normalize the violent behavior. And I'm tired of us downplaying this. Like, these people should be dealt with accordingly, and start with Hassan Piker, by the way. Elias Rodriguez, the left, is accused of double murder outside the DC Jewish Museum, posted a statement that are often said by Antifa, BLM, and far-left activists. Okay, oh, death to America, right? Yeah. What? Happy New Year, death to Israel. Okay, so my thing is, why don't the FBI do something about these people? Like, you see something about the death to our country, yo, you should be able to go after these people. FBI. Okay. Now let me say something in reference to this whole thing. So you see this article here by Politico. Let me see if it's showing. So let me read the headlines, just in case some of you are listening to this. Trump puts South Africa president on the defensive over unproven genocide claims. Now, this is amazing. And it's shocking a little bit. I shouldn't be shocked about the acceptable, blatant racism against whites worldwide, but also the downplaying of the real genocide that it's been happening. We have always called what's happening to white farmers or the Boers or the Afrikaners down there in South Africa. We have always called it a white genocide. And the definition I'm plagiarizing here is to exterminate a particular racial group, religious group. Am I missing a group? Race, ethnicity, religion. Okay, if I'm missing something else, you put it in there. Put in there, right? White people have been specifically targeted and they have been killed because of the color of their skin. And it has been advocated through other radical and extremist political African groups in South Africa to eliminate all of South Africa, of all whites. That in itself is textbook genocide. And it has been effective because the number and the number of the population of whites in South Africa have massively declined. So that in itself is just like the Christians in the Middle East. That is a genocide that has been very effective, and that is a massive decline. Okay, so I find it strange that all races of people in America, white, black, Asian, Latina, Hispanics, want to downplay, especially, and we're talking about the whites on the left, because there's nobody on the right, no race of us on the right are saying that there's not a genocide in South Africa. We know it's one in South Africa. We've been saying this for since 2016, I think we've been saying this for a while. But I think it's amazing. I'm about to, hold on, I'm going somewhere with this. Just be patient with me. I think it's amazing that the people on the left, overwhelmingly, like 99.9% of them on the left, saying that there is no genocide going on in South Africa, when the actual definition of genocide and the declining population of whites is drastically going down in South Africa, proves that it is indeed a genocide. But you know what's not a genocide? Let me tell you what's not a genocide. This shit here. Okay. The whole thing of, they're doing Palestinians a genocide. And nobody challenged this. I challenge this on Twitter all the damn time. When they want to sit up here and say, oh, do you support the genocide of the Palestinians? Now, I know most black people on Twitter are dumb as hell. They don't understand what's going on in the Middle East. But then when they come to a sister like me, I shut them down. I go, how can you genocide a group of people that don't exist?
Boom! Headshot!
Here is a map of where Israel is. Please, please show me where you see Palestine. Come on now. Where do you see? Here's Syria. This is the West Bank. This is Jordan, which is most of these people come from. This is Egypt. And this is Gaza. And this is Israel. Do you all see a place called Palestine? I'm looking real hard. I don't see a place called Palestine. So if there is no place called Palestine, how can there be a group of people called Palestinian? Because Palestinian means a nationality of Palestine. But if there is no Palestine, meaning that Palestinians don't exist, they're really Jordanians, then how the hell can you genocide that perfect people that don't exist? How does that work? How does that work? They don't exist. So there's no daggone genocide. Also, if these group of people, mainly coming from Jordan, if this state is fully intact with gazillion trillion per million of Jordanians, then there is no genocide. It's like saying that if you get a whole bunch of blacks in Chicago, they're killing each other, that they're genociding each other. How? When you got a whole bunch of blacks in other cities clear across the nation. So when I challenged them, I said, Palestine don't exist. So if Palestine don't exist, there's no such thing as a Palestinian. And if there's no such thing as a Palestinian, how the hell is it genocide? Also, the Arabs' numbers do not decline in Gaza at all, ever. Just like the West Bank, it just doesn't happen. So then, these monkeys, because they always monkeys, right? These white anti-Semites, right? They sit up here and say, "Are you saying that you disregard the UN, who declared that this is a genocide?" I was like, wait a minute. I'm supposed to take the UN seriously? I'm supposed to take the army of a very corrupt, I don't even know what you call the UN. I don't, if it's a corporation, a business, I'm not sure. But do you understand the so-called UN army is the biggest R-wording group of people, human trafficking, military in the world? And so I took a screenshot, right? As a matter of fact, let's do it now. I should have done this, right? UN investigation for right in Africa. I don't know what part of Africa, but it's in Africa. Hold on a second. Okay. All right. The UN. I don't really care about. Even though the AI is telling me what I want to know, I'd rather go to. Yeah, the so-called peacekeepers. I'd rather go to the UN's own website. Prosecuting UN peacekeepers for sexual and gender-based violence in Central Africa Republic. So even on their own website, they're stating that their armies will go into extreme impoverished countries in Africa. Okay. And our word, the children, the women, and the little girls. And as you can see, this is an ongoing problem. Also, what power does the UN have? And nobody hates Israel more than the United Nations. No one hates Israel more than the United Nations. So you expect me to take the word of the enemy, not only to Africans and African children and poor African women and children in these impoverished countries that have been victimized by the army of the so-called peacekeepers. Imagine calling yourself peacekeepers and doing this to innocent people because they're in a very poor area and they don't have any daggone, they don't have any power. So you do this to people in that area, and then you want to tell everybody when you hate Israel. You literally, everybody knows the UN absolutely hate Israel. And so since the UN says it's a genocide, I'm supposed to believe it. First of all, when all you libtards and all you Democrats start talking about it's a genocide, I know you're lying. Just like you call everybody who disagree with you racist, white supreme pieces, and all this other stuff. You guys just name call. And it's It's acceptable. The news media, CBS, ABC, MSNBC, CNN, none of these people, CNN, none of these news networks challenges. They never challenge the fact that there is no such thing, there's no such genocide in Gaza. There's no such thing, right? But let anybody say, hey, there is an active genocide in South Africa. Oh, there's no such thing. That is just false. Fake news, fake news, fake news. Unproven, unproven. So now they want to sit up here and start taking their magnifying glass up. Like, I don't see nothing. I don't see nothing. No, that's not what's happening. When if anybody with half a brain cell can just go and look at the statistics, go and look at the rhetoric, go and look at the testimony. As a matter of fact, I know some people don't like Lauren Southern. I adore her. That's my buddy. But Lauren Southern did a very good expose about the genocide in South Africa. I forgot what it's called. And I don't even know if it's still on her website, because she got deplatformed for doing that video, right? But Lauren Southern did a video where she was down in South Africa showing how dangerous it is for white farmers, white business owners, white families in that area where they are being targeted for being white. And they have had land stolen from them. And a lot of them are being hunted down like animals and persecuted. Now, and then you got such the acceptable racism against whites saying that didn't happen. That don't happen. I mean, imagine denying factual evidence of what's happening in South Africa. But you want to sit here and pretend that there's a so-called genocide going on in Gaza. Lies. So when I showed them actual proof that the UN is not credible and that they can't even prove what's happening down there, don't even meet the definition of a genocide. Like Mr. Milky say, when one died, 10 replaced them. How is that a genocide? Make that make sense. Make that make sense. Okay. All right, let's move on, because that made me mad. Let's go ahead and look at Victor. I didn't see this, by the way, but Victor is talking about the blatant racism against South Africans. I think I want them to stop saying against South Africans and say against white South Africans, because people are so ignorant that they think South Africans are just only black. So you need to put the white in there. You need to put white in there.
The things that they're willing to defend in order to attack President Trump are insane. They're now pretending that there is no genocide happening against white people in South Africa and that Donald Trump is a pathological liar. Specifically, liberals are hyper-fixated on this cover image of one of the many articles that President Trump held up. They say, oh, the photo was from Congo. Meanwhile, even CNN admits in their own article that the article he referenced is about the dysfunctional, race-obsessed Marxist government and points out the increasing pressure that's being placed on white South Africans. Notice how they all want to just conveniently ignore what's actually happening? White people in South Africa are only about 8% of the entire population. Yet there's thousands of documented cases of them being attacked. The left hates Trump so much that they're literally lining up in defense of racial attacks in what many consider to be the beginning stages of a genocide.
They no beginning stages. It's in full-fledged there, Victor. So there's that, man. That's what's happening. It's amazing. I don't even want to play this, but this is where they start chanting, kill the Boer, kill the Boer. So yeah, I personally, and here's the thing. Here's what I want y'all got to understand, right? I would love for them to just leave South Africa and then let it just go further and further into deterioration. Let it go further and further Oh, Catherine said it's called farmland. Oh, thank you. So it's still okay, guys. So Lauren Southern's video documentary is called Farmlands, and it's on YouTube. Okay, it's on YouTube. So there's that. Y'all can go ahead and watch. Thank you, Catherine. So y'all can go watch it. So they'll show you how it is bad, but it's like I don't know where this coming from, and I have to blame white people for it, because just like I blame black people for the state that black people are in, I blame white people for the state that white people are in, because it's mainly white people who are okay with what's happening to their race, and I know most of it is coming from the left. But where do you think the acceptance of the black on black crime is coming from? It's coming from the left. You don't see anybody on the right talking about something. Well, it's okay if Ray takes out Lamar. He shouldn't have been wearing the wrong colors. Like, we don't have that over here on the right. A lot of this is on the left. All of it is actually on the left when it comes to the white hatred. Okay. Now, do we have some white guilt over here on the right? Absolutely we do. Yes, we do have some white guilt Republicans. But the white hatred is not on this side. Okay, so that's what I want to talk about. It's jeez Louise. Let's see. Do I want to talk about this story? Guys, I'm running. It's getting to the hour. I got some time. So the Democrats, the demon rats, are looking to find their own Joe Rogan, not knowing that Joe Rogan was a Democrat. Y'all. The demon rats got so far left that y'all got Joe Rogan to come from the left to come in the center. He's not right wing. Stop saying that Joe Rogan is conservative. Stop saying that Joe Rogan is right wing. He is not. The only reason he's in the center and center left, by the way, is because he used to be a libtard as well. And the libtard went further left, which basically left him homeless. And now he's in the center left.
The Democrats still don't have an identity, and they're trying to, I guess, put out back calls for people that are in the podcast space. They're trying to find their next Joe Rogan. But of course, Joe Rogan used to be a part of the Democratic Party, and they ran him away. This is what the New York Times is saying in this quote. The quiet effort amounts to, in audacious skeptics might say, desperate. But that Democrats can buy more cultural relevance online, despite the fact that casually right-leaning touchstones like Mr. Rogan's podcast were not built by political donors and did not rise overnight, Lisa.
Yeah, there's a group aiming to raise $45 million over the next 4 years, in part on this effort. But, you know, I think it was Elon Musk who tweeted out previously that, like, I didn't leave the Democrat Party, you know, and he tweeted out this meme of the Democrat Party just going further and further left. And he's like, I've always been here. They just left me, to your point. But I think the fact that they're trying to find the Joe Rogan is why they're never going to find it. Right. Because he started his thing in 2009. He was just being authentic. He was just being himself. He wasn't trying to be anything. And so if you go out intentionally trying to be something, people are going to see that as inauthentic. And that's also why President Trump won, is because he is so authentic.
I think it's a little bit deeper, a little bit more layered onion than people want to think. It's not just that
how deep is this onion?
Well, it's pretty deep. And if you really like that, you take a big bite out of it. Anyway, so it's not that it's all these people like Joe Rogan didn't become conservative. RFK Jr. didn't become a Republican. Tulsi Gabbard didn't become a Republican. Trump's populism is almost completely aside from the Republican Party. So when we talk about the Democrats looking for a message and trying to find how to connect with people, their message is anti-Trump. That's what their message is. It's not we stand for this, it's that he stands for that, so we're going to stand against it. When Trump goes and he does things like Republicans are traditionally big business friendly, not because they want to see big businesses rule the world, but because a country that is anti-communist has companies in it that can become powerful. Think of Meta. That's not a pro-Republican thing, but the idea that a private company can have power is a conservative thing. Trump says, hold on, wait just a minute. Should social media companies have this much power? Should pharmaceutical companies have this much power?
No. I agree. No.
Should any company be able to dictate to us what we pay for equipment like tanks and planes? Do we just throw money at it, or are we going to take a second look at it? So
No more money to Ukraine. That's in Ukraine. No.
Trump has made conservatism populist, and there's no going back for the Republican Party or the Democrat Party. Joe Rogan is 10 times more liberal than I'll ever be.
Thank you. I'm so glad they're telling the truth. I don't know why I'm really shocked that Fox News is saying this, because everybody think that Joe Rogan is conservative. Like, no. This man literally thinks that the police hunts down blacks. He literally believes the whole driving with black thing. Like, this guy is just one of my first videos ever as a political streamer was against Joe Rogan. My first ever, and his support for Black Lives Matter. My first video on my now abandoned Tree of Logic channel was against Joe Rogan.
Sit today agreeing on more issues than not. That's a bigger problem than the Democrats looking for the right face or voice for a message that they don't even have.
I think the greater point is that podcasts weren't meant to be an operation for any political party.
Yeah,
it's supposed to be, you develop an audience and then you shift them toward that. Joe Rogan said back in November, though, they're missing the point because the Democratic Party left me. I didn't leave them. Watch.
I'm sure they're scrambling to try to create their own version of this show. Right. This is one thing that keeps coming up, like we need our own Joe Rogan. Right. But they had me.
Well, number one, they had.
Not anymore.
I think it cuts to the heart of the broader problem that the Democrat Party is facing. It's not the messenger.
Joe Rogan, wait. Joe Rogan is not a libertarian either. Larry Sharpe exposed him. Well, I would have to say he's a centrist. Okay, maybe not a libertarian. He's a centrist now that the Democrats have moved so far left. So, yeah, maybe not a libertarian, but more of a centrist.
It's the message.
That's right.
People just reject your ideas. They reject who you are. They're a bunch of hall monitors now, right? Like, they're like the kid that telling everyone, like correcting everyone. And, it's like, so it's not a messenger problem. It's a message. It's what they stand for.
They're not relatable at all.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I mean...
Oh, shoot. I did not mean to click on that. All right. No more pennies! The pennies, guys. The U.S. Treasury confirms the Mint will discontinue production of pennies by early next year. They said it costs more to produce them than it is to have them. Now, I don't know how I feel about this because people don't really care about pennies. I don't know if this should be some concern that we're getting to the point where the penny is worthless, and that's not good. Because if the pennies are worthless, then that is not good. Okay. But when I think about how people look at pennies, when you go to the wishing well and you look at when you go to these fountains and you look at the bottom of the fountain, it's filled with a whole bunch of pennies. So I'm like, okay, why are people like, I get it, you're throwing pennies in there because it's like worthless to you, but I still keep my pennies. Pennies are still money as far as I'm concerned. But let's read this because, I don't know if this is like a warning sign of what's to come, or they're slowly trying to push us to digital currency. I hope not, because I used cash twice today. I used it at the Dollar Tree. I went to go buy a card for a neighbor I feel nothing for. The Dollar Tree cards are no longer $1. It's $1.25. And so with tax, I had to use some pennies. But yeah, I think I use cash. And it's like, do I need to now save all my pennies? Do I need to do that now? So, wait a minute. Hold on a second. The pennies are supposed to represent wish history. Is it though? Cause I don't use pennies. I use like a quarter. Like penny, like I think using pennies to make a wish is for brokies, you know. I throw a quarter up in there, but I haven't done that in a long time. The last time I threw a quarter in a fountain, I was in Italy. And I felt the need to I was like, oh, this is so beautiful. And because that fountain was so gorgeous, I thought like, here, bling. I took a real quarter and threw it up in there. They knew more instead of save your pennies. It's going to be save your dimes. I'm still saving my pennies. I keep a penny jar, actually. But anyway, let's read this for a second. I don't know if I like this or not. The United States Mint has placed its final order for penny blanks and will cease production of the coin once this last batch is completed. The Treasury Department confirmed on Thursday. Currently, it costs approximately 3.69 cents to make a single penny. President Donald Trump announced in February that he was ordering his administration to end production of the coin, citing government waste. For far too long, the United States has minted pennies, which literally cost us more than 2 cents. This is so wasteful. Trump wrote on Truth Social at the time. I have instructed my Secretary of the U.S. Treasury to stop producing new pennies. Last year was the 19th year that production costs of both the penny and the nickel remain above face value. In 2024, nickels cost 14 cents each to produce. Holy smokes! Wait! Hold on! Now, I know I went to inferior education. But, hold on. If it costs 3.69 cents to make one penny, and it costs 14 cents to make one nickel, isn't the nickel the problem? Chat, am I taking dumb pills? Am I the slow one here? Pennies haven't been copper for so long. Pennies are not copper anymore. That's why I said dimes. The nickel should be worth the nickel should, I think you meant to say shouldn't be worth 14 cents. But no. If it costs more than the nickel, then why not stop the production? I'm not saying we should. I don't want none of the money to stop producing. I don't want none of the money. I don't want none of the money to stop. I want the money to still, I want the pennies, I want the nickels, I want the dimes, and definitely the quarters. But holy smokes, you're complaining about the penny when it costs way more for the daggone nickel? The Hill, per the latest U.S. Mint report, it costs less than 6 cents to make dimes. Oh, okay. Look, you better off making dimes. No wonder Nina said that. To make a quarter, it costs about 15 cents. And nearly 34 cents to $50. Ooh, I love me $50. You know what? I should keep $50. I don't know why I stopped doing that. I do not, to this day, I don't have not one $50 coin. it's something, $50 coins make me feel rich, you know? I used to collect them, and I think I spent them many years ago. There are roughly 114 billion pennies in circulation, valued at 1.14 billion. Pennies will remain legal tender after the production halts. Senator Jeff Merkley, a Democrat, and Mike Lee, a Republican, introduced a bill to kill the penny earlier this year. Okay. I don't like this, chat. I like my pennies. Do you have dollar coins? No. Because the dollar coin is smaller than the $50 coin, and I don't like that. So that's why I like the $50 coin. They are much bigger. They look better to me too. If they leave the pennies in circulation, the pennies cost nothing. Penny costs $1. 1 cent. My grandpa used to save dollar coins for us. Aw, that's so sweet, Laura. All right, let's get to the last story. Trump called Scott Adams, y'all. Wasn't that nice? So Scott Adams was afraid that he was going to catch a lot of heat. He was afraid he was going to catch a lot of hate for telling everybody that he's dying of prostate cancer. Laura, why you messed that story up? Laura said, I just said, oh, that's so sweet, Laura. Laura said my grandpa used to save the coins for us. I was like, oh, that's so sweet. Then she says, then my uncle stole them. What's going on here? Huh? What's happening here? Anyway, see how she messed up a perfectly nice story? Like, oh my gosh. Change the channel. Yeah, I would have cried too. I would have cried too, definitely. Okay, but anyway, Scott Adams reveals that President Trump called him after terminal cancer prognosis. He accidentally sent him to voicemail. I think he sent him to voicemail twice. That Scott Adams, man, he ain't the most brightest bulb in the world, right? So here's that. Hold on a second. Let me enlarge it. Then we're going to conclude today's show. Okay. All right, here we go.
So yesterday, I'm home.
Hold on. Sorry. It's too low. All right, here we go.
So yesterday, I'm home, and I've been getting lots of people reaching out because of my recent health-related news, and but I can't talk to everybody. Like it's just continual messages coming in, and I have to kind of pace myself. So I see a phone number coming in. Somebody's calling me from some number I don't recognize, something in Florida, and I sent it to voicemail. And a little bit later, I thought, I better check that voicemail and see if that was anything I need to deal with. And the first sentence in the transcription, because the phone gives you the text version of the voicemail as well. The first sentence is, "This is your favorite president." And I thought to myself, no. Did I just send the most important person in the world to voicemail? And it turns out that I had. It was Trump, and he was just calling to check in. Now he left a semi-lengthy little voicemail, just say he was checking on me, heard about my health situation. And then he says, you can call me back on this number. Now, obviously, I don't call him back, right?
Why?
That would just be ridiculous. It just was a nice thing for him to say, because he called me. You could call me back on this number. So I didn't call him back on that number because I thought I'd, it's not like he's sitting at the Resolute desk waiting to.
Oh, Scott, you so stupid. No wonder that young girl ripped you off. Imagine the president of the United States call your phone and say, you can call this number back. And you're like, I don't want to. I don't think that's important. Woo, that cancer done eating his brain.
Deuce, waiting for my call. I thought that whatever it is he's doing has got to be more important, than randomly taking a call from me. So I don't call him back. Hours go by. It's the afternoon, same day. It's the afternoon. And all of a sudden another call comes through, also from Florida. And I thought to myself, no fucking way. There's no way he's calling me again. And I answer it, and it's Trump. And apparently he'd heard of my situation, and he had lots of questions. I won't get into the details of our conversation because that would be inappropriate. But he was just checking on me. And he had, he wanted to make sure that I was getting everything I needed. And that was it. But at the end, the strangest thing happened at the end. At the end of the call, when he found out, the situation was kind of dire, and I was still checking out some things that might help. He said, if you need anything, I'll make it happen. And he meant it. He was completely aware of our, let's say, parallel journeys from 2015. He mentioned it. And it was just the most incredible, weird, hard to understand situation. But boy, was it fun. So anyway, that's my story. And I'm sticking to it.
Democrats gonna hate him.
All right.
Democrats gonna hate him for normalizing and showing how careful Trump is. What a night. Okay, I'm glad you finally talked to him. So that was really nice of Trump. That was really good. It's like, that's just, Democrats gonna hate him for that. You are nothing but a racist. You're nothing but a traitor. You're nothing. You just did nothing. Nothing but a traitor. You just traitor. All right, guys. I didn't get not one super chat, not one donation, but it's okay. It's all good. It's all good. Y'all can make it up to me the next time. I'm going to go ahead and log off, fix something to eat, and then get ready for my other stream that I have scheduled. I think I got it scheduled at 9 o'clock or something like that. But anyway, guys, hopefully I should have a video for you guys tomorrow. I have been out of the news cycle, but tomorrow I should have a video, fingers crossed. I should have something, okay? So thanks for coming by. Mwah, love you guys a lot, and I'll see you in the comments of my next video. Later, taters. Bye.